I try to be as innovative as possible, saying, looking, it's like the stock market. Where do you put your money? I mean, what do you think is going to be the biggest hit? And when I started, again, the first album was just to get off the ground with, and I started to attract some attention with the first album. The second one was the show Rent, which was in the 90s, like the hottest thing on Broadway. And that was a big seller. And while doing that, I also realized that something may be more for the kids. And what's a big popular show? Annie. So I decided to orchestrate the show and rearrange the music. I wanted to make some changes. I felt that I wanted to emphasize more things like on introductions. I think if somebody's going to sing a song, they want more of an intro than sometimes you get in a Broadway show, because a Broadway show, you could be doing dialogue, one character, one actor playing against another actor in dialogue, and there's a musical cue, ping, and then you go into a song. And I said, there should be a little bit more to that. So taking the most popular song from the show, Tomorrow, I decided I gave it a little bit more of an introduction and basically kept the same style, which I have to do throughout, which is, you know, the tempo, the keys that the songs are in, because they do follow the Broadway score. So I can't go into something completely different than what would be, you know, the musicians would get if they ever had the orchestrations or the kids in school. So I had to stick always to the original Broadway show key. One of the things I did, I always look around for the things, and I always say to myself, can we change this? Can we change that? Can we do something different that nobody else has thought of? And the one thing which I had thought about for a number of years was the Broadway show Fiddler on the Roof. And I always said that the storyline is Eastern Russia in 1905, and they would never have had a 30-piece orchestra in the pit. What they would have had would have been klezmer musicians. Klezmer musicians being, traveling bands of musicians who went around from town to town, and they were the entertainment for a wedding or for whatever occasion. And they always used instruments that they could carry. In other words, there was never a piano, because you couldn't carry a piano, and you couldn't put it on the cart and have the horse pull it from one town to another. So they had an accordion. But all the instruments were basically instruments that the guys could carry around with them. The violin, the clarinet, and yada yada. And I said, you know what? I think Fiddler on the Roof should be done with a klezmer band. Well, lo and behold, so here I go. I sit down and I orchestrated the whole show for a klezmer band and recorded it that way. And that's how we did it. And that was, of course, it was totally different, totally unexpected, but again, following the format of the original keys and the tempos, and basically everything as would normally be done with 30 musicians, only this time with 9. And that was done mostly with live musicians, clarinet, violin, things like that. And that's how we did it.